What's up, sports fans? This is the Lucas Ross Sports Channel. We continue here with my 2024 predictions for the upcoming 2024 college football season. The Missouri Tigers are up next, one of the most surprised teams, of course, in 2023. Last year going 11-2 overall in 2023. So yeah, this was one of the most surprised teams from last year. Looking at this team for 2024, my thoughts on them, I think Missouri is going to be pretty good this year. I also forgot to mention back last year that this team was not far behind of winning the SEC East. They were very competitive against Georgia and some of the top teams in the SEC as well. So that's what happened last year for Missouri. My thoughts on them, back to what I was saying for 2024. I think they're going to be really good this year once again. Maybe a step back from where they were the year before, but you look at the offensive side of the football, they do return almost everybody back there on the offense. They got one of their top wide receivers coming back there at the wide receiver position, and then they also got Brady Cook coming back at quarterback. Potentially could be one of the top quarterbacks in the SEC this year. And then defensively, they do lose quite a bit of talent there on the defensive side of the football, but they could probably still be pretty solid on the defensive side of the football as well. So let's now look at the schedule here for Missouri for 2024. This is the schedule here for the Tigers. Again, they were 11-2 last year in 2023. So let's now go game by game and give you a record prediction here for the Missouri Tigers for 2024. They start things off with Murray State here on August 31st. I think that will be an easy win here for this Missouri team. Definitely probably should score like 40 or 50 points in this one. So I think they take care of business in that game. And then I think they take care of business against Buffalo. I think the Buffalo game will be a little bit of a challenge maybe for the first few minutes. I don't think it's going to be a game where Missouri will score a ton of points like the Murray State game, but I think Missouri starts off pretty easily at 2-0 on the season, and then after that they'll play Boston College here at home on September 14th. Boston College ended up making it to a bowl game last year. They do have a tough schedule this year. You look at the offense for Boston College, I think that's where they're going to be really their biggest strength is. Defensively, you've got some concerns, but I think Missouri playing at home, they're definitely the more talented team and definitely the more experienced team on both sides of the football. And again, playing at home, Missouri, I think, will win this one. I mean, I think it's going to be a close game in the first half since it is a Power 4 non-conference game. But I think second half the Tigers do pull away in this one just because they're playing at home. And I think Missouri does beat Boston College here, so that puts their record here at 3-0. Next game is against Vanderbilt here at home on September 21st to open up SEC play. No really high expectations here for the Condors. Obviously one of the worst teams in the SEC, and I think they probably have a chance to be one of the worst teams in the Power 4 as well. So I think Missouri wins this one fairly easily. It pretty much takes care of business. It won't be like the game against Murray State. It will probably be like that Buffalo game where it's probably just a scare in a few minutes, but I think Vanderbilt definitely has no shot at beating Missouri here on the road. I think Missouri wins this one fairly easily. So that puts Missouri's record now at 4-0, and then they get a bye week right after that Vanderbilt game before playing Texas A&M here on the road on October 5th. So this is going to be a very tough game here on the road. It's one of the toughest places to play in the college football and definitely in the SEC. I mean, obviously this is one of the first road games here for Missouri. Texas A&M going to have a first-year head coach. I think this team has a lot of talent on the roster. You got plenty of production coming back here for the Aggies. So I think this is a pretty even matchup here in my opinion. This is a coin flip type game for me. I've been saying that I would usually go with the more talented roster and definitely the more experienced team, but this is a coin flip game for me, and plus playing on the road, I think it's going to be very tough for Missouri to win. So with that being said, I think in a low-scoring type game, it's definitely a 50-50 game in my opinion. Home field advantage will favor the difference here. So with that being said, I'm going to go with the Aggies here. To pull off maybe not like an upset or anything like that, but I think Texas A&M gets it done here at home. Again, home field advantage does favor the Aggies in this one, so I got them giving Missouri their first loss of the season. That puts Missouri's record at 4-1, and then they take care of business here on the road at UMass on October 12th. Kind of weird that they're playing UMass here on the road, but that puts their record here at 5-1. Next game is at home against Auburn on October 19th. The battle of the Tigers here between these two teams. Auburn, I think, will be a little bit better this year. This team brought in a ton of experience back from the roster from last year. They also got some transfers coming in to help them out. This is a coin flip game as well for me. I think it will be a shootout here in this game. Coin flip type game for me, and also a 50-50 game, kind of hard one to call. So with that being said, home field advantage does favor the difference. Again, in a shootout, I think Missouri does win it here just because of home field advantage, and I think they'll beat Auburn here and prove to 6-1 here on the season. Next game is on the road here at Alabama on October 26th, so another tough road game here for Missouri. They got some tough road games on the schedule, but Alabama is on the road, one of the toughest places to play also in the SEC and definitely in college football. But the Crimson Tide are definitely not going to be the same team as they were from last year. They're still going to have the talented roster and everything, but first-year head coach, obviously. This is a very tough game here on the road. If this game was probably at Missouri, I definitely would choose the Tigers here to pull off maybe an upset here, but it is on the road. But I think Missouri will definitely be competitive in this game, by the fourth quarter and everything. I think it's another shootout type game, kind of like compared to the Auburn game. So with that being said, home field advantage does favor the difference here. It's a 50-50 game in my opinion. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Alabama here to pull off the win. And I've already done my Alabama prediction video from last week, so I feel like, Missouri will come up just a little bit short in that one. Again, it's a tough game to call. That's the reason why I'm going with home field advantage in this one. And then that will give them their second loss here of the season. That puts their record here at 6-2. And then they get another bye week here. Remember, a lot of these Power 4 teams get like a second bye week of this season, and then coming out of the bye week, they'll play Oklahoma here at home on November the 9th. This will be a home game here for the Tigers. I think, Missouri comes out pretty angry in this one after the loss to Alabama. They get the bye week to kind of heal up just before playing this game, and I think that's what gives them the win. But this game will be probably like, a defensive battle. I do expect Oklahoma to hold off Missouri's offense to low-scoring points, but at the end of the day, home field advantage does favor the difference here. I'm going to go with Missouri here to get a bounce-back win. They come out pretty angry and get a bounce-back win over Oklahoma, and that puts their record here at 7-2. And the next game is on the road here at South Carolina on November 16th. Definitely a trap game here for Missouri if they were probably ranked in the top 10 or top 25 by this point. South Carolina's got a lot of question marks, but this is definitely one of those upset alert type games that Missouri can definitely not sleep on. It's in the month of November. Anything can happen here in the month of November, to be honest, in college football. This is definitely one of those upset alert type games, and that's what I'm going to go with here. I think South Carolina playing at home. This is a tough one to call. I've kind of been back and forth on this game. It's always pretty good matchups here when South Carolina and Missouri get on the field. So with that being said, I think the Gamecocks playing at home, they will win this game and pull off the upset and give Missouri their third loss of the season. I don't feel very confident with this pick, but I'm going to go with South Carolina anyways. Again, it's a very tough place to play on the road at South Carolina. And then after that, it's a road game here against Mississippi State on November 23rd. I think Missouri, just like after the Alabama game, after the loss, they're going to come out pretty angry in this one. They'll get a bounce-back win. I know it's on the road here at Mississippi State. The Cowbells will be rolling, but I'm not really that high on Mississippi State. They're going to be a very young team this year. Maybe they'll be better by this time in like November. Maybe it's a close game in the first half, but I think Missouri does pull away here in the second half, and I think they'll win here on the road at Mississippi State on November 23rd. And then after that, it's the last game of the regular season against Arkansas at home on November 30th. They defeated Arkansas pretty easily last year. I think I'm kind of expecting the same thing to happen this year. I don't think Arkansas is going to be that really good this year. They lost a ton of guys from last year's roster, including KJ Jefferson at quarterback. I think Missouri playing at home, this probably will still be a close game either way, but again, I think Tigers playing at home does get it done here, and I think they'll win against Arkansas here on the last weekend of the regular season and rivalry weekend on November 30th. So my official prediction here for Missouri for 2024 is 9-3, so I think that's a pretty fair prediction here. You got some tough road games with Texas A&M and Alabama and South Carolina, but if they beat South Carolina, they can probably go 10-2 again. But what if they beat Texas A&M or Alabama? That puts their record at 11-1, and also a chance to probably make the college football playoff and also the SEC championship. This schedule is not that horrible. Again, they got some tough road games, but this schedule is pretty much easy. Tennessee. It's one of the easiest schedules in the SEC in my opinion, and that was why we ranked it in the top 10 in our easiest schedules video from, a couple weeks ago. So that is my official prediction here for the Missouri Tigers. Again, it's 9-3 here for 2024. Give me your guys' thoughts on this Missouri team down in the comments below. What do you think their record will be for 2024? Thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned here for more sports content videos on my Lucas Ross Sports channel.